What's your problem, cool bar?
Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Utkarsh and I live in Poland and I make vlogs. So in case if you are new to my channel, so just make sure you check out my channel and consider subscribing. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So guys, for those of you who has been thinking why I'm wearing this glass inside my room, because it's too hot right now and my curtains are white, so it doesn't really work. So that's the reason I'm wearing glass. It's too hot, so I look cool, right? You know what I'm saying? So as you have already seen from the title, in this video I'm going to talk about the new education policy in India, which has been changed after like 3 decades, which is crazy. If you think like that, 3 decades has been a really long time. So many of you guys were asking me, Utkarsh, please make a video about the new education policy, because maybe there was some like confusion going around. Many of my audience is from the age group 17-18, so they are still in high school back in India. If you are from India and if this video makes sense to you, just keep watching. This video I'm just gonna talk in brief, like what are the main highlights of this education policy and what are the major changes. I'm not talking about the minor changes, flaws which I think is in this education policy. So just make sure you stick around with the video and yeah, just stay tuned, okay? So first of all, let's start with the good thing, like what are the good things about this policy. So the first good thing is the education system has been reformed and now we have the system like 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So if you plus all this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 is 15 years of education. So now in India officially we have 15 years of education. So what this means is 12 years of school and 3 years of preschool. So the first 5 years is like the foundation year. It's like, you know, where kids go to school, they will learn some foundation, the basic things and stuff like that. And the next 3 years means the pre-primary education, and again the next 3 years means the preparatory stage, and the last 4 years means the secondary stage. So previously the secondary stage was the senior secondary school, you know, the 10 plus 2 like 12th. So now they have just changed the names, and I know it's quite confusing, but if you just stick with the video, I'm pretty sure you'll get exactly what it's all about. So now let's talk about the second major change. So the second major change in the way we used to conduct the exams, you know, previously we had the rote learning. Basically before the exams you can just mug everything up, just remember everything, and you can just sit in the exams and you can write. For me, if I remember, I don't really use any of the things which I learned in the 10 or 12 practical life. Examination has been changed. There will be like new ways of exams in the schools. The new examination will focus more on the analyze. New examination will focus more on the critical thinking and more on the conceptual clarity. Board examination will happen the same as usual in 10 and 12, but now the examination will focus more on the, you know, objective and subjective exam. I mean, this is not confirmed, but it still is in the news. They are still, you know, making some decisions and it's not final. The third major change is no rigid separation between streams. I remember back in days when I was in the like 12th, so they were like, you know, ये commerce का है, ये science का है, ये arts वाले हैं, और जो भी मीम बनते थे इन, you know, streams के around, अब ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. The streams are more like equivalent. Now there won't be any rigid separation between the stream, like ये science वाला बंदा है, ये commerce वाला है, ये arts वाला है, because people now can choose anything they want to study. To study science with arts, or if you want to study biology with arts or some like, you know, scientific subjects, you can still do that. Like when I was in 12th, I took science as my major for like 12th. I really wanted to study political science and also economics or, you know, this business subject, but I really couldn't do that because I was with the science stream, so there was no option to take these subjects. But now I feel quite jealous of the people who are going to take all this major. So basically now there's more leniency that you can opt multiple subjects of different streams and there's no rigid separation of streams anymore. So the fourth major change is major and minor concept. So as I was talking in my previous point, if you are a science student, if you want to take arts or economics or any sort of subject, so you can take a major of science and you can choose a minor in some other whole different stream. Nobody will stop you from taking your desired subject. So the fifth major change is multiple entry and exit option. So basically now you can quit your college anytime you want. For example, if you are in the first year of college, if you want to quit your college, you can quit and you'll get a certificate from the university that you just took your college for 1 year. So they'll give you a certificate that you are taking this course, and maybe it will help you like in future. If you want to quit your college right now because of some family issue, financial issue, because it usually happens a lot in India, like people cannot able to continue their studies because of some family reasons, so you can just quit. You'll have a certificate, and then if you want to continue your education, like after 4 year 5 years, you can again come back, and then you don't have to start from the scratch. You'll have some sort of credits already, so you can just continue from the like second year. Or for example, if you are quitting your education in just 2 years, so you'll get a diploma. If you are taking your college for 3 years, you'll get your bachelor's. If you are taking your college degree for 4 years, then you'll have bachelor's come research certificate. Basically now the 4-year university degree is more of like, you know, research oriented in the last year, the 4th year of college. So now doing the 4th year college degree only makes sense if you know that you want to go for, you know, the research options in future, or if you just want to go for, you know, the regular jobs. If you just want to, you know, get your degree and apply for some college abroad, or just go for regular jobs, then you can just go for like 3-year bachelor degrees. I think with all this, the education system in India is just more like, you know, like a revolution. Like it's more internationalized. I think now with all these education policies, you can compare the education system of India to like abroad, to the west of Europe, or, you know, to America, because that's how things work in Europe and in America. So the 6 major changes is in vocational skills. So now from the class 6 onwards, you'll have optional subjects, you'll have vocational subjects. You can choose any of them and try different streams. You can try different vocational subjects. You can see if you have interest in that or not. For example, in class 6 you can now take coding, you can take carpentry, you can take pottery, or all the, you know, vocational fields. You can try any of them if you really want to go into those streams in future. And I think it's very practical, because if you see in Europe, if you see in America, that's how things work. There are like different sorts of schools here in Europe. They are like vocational school, where the kids only go to those schools and they learn those practical skills which will just help them to get a job like ASAP. So they don't have to go to a normal school and learn all those theoretical parts, because they know that they don't have interest in those fields. So I think it's more practical now. The 7th major change is right now the Indian government allowing more international colleges to set up their campuses in India. With the previous education system, it was not possible, but right now the Indian government, the Modi government, they have allowed the foreign campuses to invest in India, and all the top university, all the top 100 universities in the world, right now they can open their campuses in India. And I think this is one of the best news. Let's see things this way: the top colleges of the world, they're gonna place their campuses in India. More international students will come to India, they will study in India, and more MNCs will come to India as well, they will invest. And also the more number of international people will come to India, the India will be like, you know, more internationalized. Like it will have, you know, the diversity and the international culture. In the end, all this will be very good for the Indian economy and the GDP, because you will see the foreign investment. Sure, the fees will be quite expensive compared to the Indian colleges. The fees will be in US dollars, but also when these top colleges in the world, when they're gonna come to India and set up their campus, so it will just increase the competition between regional Indian college and an international college. So you can see the competition, and overall it's just very good news. It's actually a great news for those people who just wanna live in India. They don't want to go abroad and study and spend a lot of money in the food accommodation. They will just live in India and they will get a certificate from the top universities in the world. Like how cool is that? And the last major change is right now the report card will look quite different. You know, previously we had the report card where we had all the subjects and the marks we scored, and right now we'll have report cards, and we'll also have like certain skill mentioned, like what practical skills the student has. So there will be a group assessment, like your classmate will give some sort of assessment to the teacher. So you have to represent yourself really nice in schools, and you have to be very engaging with the, you know, class activities. So these were all the major the good changes. And now let's talk about the bad changes. Let's not say the bad changes, but the controversial policies in the system. The first one is English will be not a medium of instruction anymore till class 5. They have mentioned in this policy that right now all the schools and all the education institutions, they will have to teach in the regional languages of the state. For example, if you are from South India, so in the regional, you know, state, you'll have to study till class 5 in the regional language, not in English anymore. This policy is quite controversial, because if you see some parents, you know, they move from South India to the North India, or from the North India to South India. So you can see how the children will manage. For example, he was studying in Hindi in the North India, and when he'll go to the South, so he or she has to study in like Tamil or like Kannada. Like how is that even practical? So this is the most controversial point in this new education system. What they were thinking before making this policy, this is not just like feasible or practical. I've also heard they were just planning to make Hindi as a medium of instruction till class 5, but the southern part of the India, they opposed this decision in the parliament. So then they came to the settlement that in the South Indian or in the regional state they can teach in the regional languages. Also, I would say the government should see things like that. In India, the core strength of we have is English. Like the majority of youth and majority of the population in India speak English, and that's the reason Indians can go abroad and they can conquer, they can take the high paid jobs, they can do coding, they can go to best business positions just because we have English, the background, like what I'm talking about. But if you change the medium of instruction in the very basic stage of a student, of a child, then I don't know what the government is thinking, but that's the new policy. So now let's talk about the second flaw. So ये सब implement कैसे होगा? Like how the government will implement this in a country with population 1.3 billion, like such a huge population. You can see this from the example. Right now the situation is, आप लोग जानते हैं कि government schools कैसे होते हैं. Many of the schools the teachers are not showing up, और बहुत सारे government school में तो like toilet भी नहीं होता है. तो I don't know how the government gonna implement all this. For sure it will take time. It doesn't seem to be very practical anymore. I would say the private schools, I think they will adopt this very quickly because they take a lot of money from the students. But for government schools, for sure it will take a hell lot of time to implement all these new policies, to change all the major education system. For the vocational subject, I'm pretty not sure like how the government will provide extra teachers. Currently you can see from the stat, अभी भी like government schools में like teachers नहीं होते हैं. There are so many government schools, teacher time पे नहीं आ रहे हैं और teacher है नहीं like subject के लिए. तो आपको पता है ये सब चीज़ इंडिया में होता है, तो मुझे नहीं पता कि government इसे implement कैसे करेगी. Like theoretically paper पे लिखना बहुत आसान होता है, but I don't know how the government will manage to implement all this on such a huge scale. So now let's talk about the third major flaw. So okay, right now they have given students like so many options. They can take like major, minor, but I would say there should be a counseling team set up in every school, because अगर आप बच्चों की counseling नहीं करोगे तो दे विल बी वेरी कंफ्यूज. लाइक स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे ही कंफ्यूज होते हैं. कोई एक काउंसलिंग टीम बनानी पड़ेगी which will guide the student in the correct direction. फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्टूडेंट्स को ऐसी उतना आइडिया होता नहीं है कि उन्हें क्या करना है लाइफ में. लाइक मुझे तो अंटिल 12th आई हैड नो आइडिया लाइक व्हाट आई हैव टू डू विद माई लाइफ. तो आपको एक काउंसलिंग टीम सेटअप करनी चाहिए इन एवरी स्कूल, बिकॉज विद ऑल दिस सो मेनी ऑप्शंस एंड वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट्स एंड मेजर माइनर, द स्टूडेंट विल जस्ट गेट कंफ्यूज. और अगर स्टूडेंट्स को पता नहीं है कि उन्हें लाइफ में क्या करना है, तो दे विल जस्ट बी लॉस्ट और आगे जाके कुछ नहीं होना है. फॉर दैट आई वुड से देयर शुड बी अ प्रॉपर काउंसलिंग टीम सेटअप, और उन्हें इस पॉलिसी में ये मेंशन करनी चाहिए थी, बट आई डोंट नो लाइक ये क्यों नहीं मेंशन हुआ. जस्ट कमेंट डाउन योर व्यूज व्हाट यू थिंक अबाउट दिस न्यू पॉलिसी. एंड द फोर्थ मेजर फ्लॉ, मतलब गवर्नमेंट ने सब कुछ चेंज कर दिया, इतने न्यू वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट, मेजर माइनर ब्ला ब्ला, बट स्टिल द कॉम्पिटिशन ऑफ द IIT एंड द मेडिकल एग्जाम्स is still the same. I was actually expecting they will do some sort of changes in the IITs or in the medical exams, but वो कुछ भी change नहीं हुआ है. And I don't know why the government didn't change anything in the IIT entrance or the medical entrance. I just hope the suicide rate of the student will just go down with all these new policies and this all this new changes in the education system. So overall I would say it's a great decision by the Indian government, and I really appreciate this new policy. It was changed after like 3 decades. Look around, what are the changes made in this past 3 decades in the world, and still India was lagging behind. So right now I'm quite happy with the government decision, and let's hope for the best. Let's hope they will implement this and at every stages. So let's hope for the best, and let's see how successfully government of India implement these changes. And for the parents, I would just like to say, just don't force your kids still to take engineering or medical. Now you can see also the government is promoting to take major, minor and to take vocational subjects. There are no such things like these jobs are like for lower caste people or for like different people, and these jobs are for like high class people. There is no such things like that. Let your kids do what they really want to do with their life. Guys, that's pretty much for this video. I just wanted to make this short video for the people who are confused about the major changes. I really hope you got something out of this video. If you did, just make sure you consider subscribing to my channel. तो बस ऐसे ही support और प्यार दिखाते रहो, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Till then, love from Poland, but from India. Peace.
What's your problem, Kuwabara? You don't like croissants? Stupid name, but they taste good.